Hello everyone, this is Chrisa Assis, founder and teacher of Bautanz, Constructing Dance. Today I have with me a friend and tango organizer and co-organizer of several milongas here in Toronto and a new festival that is coming up in 2 weeks, and we're going to talk about it here together. Her name is Masha. Hi. And she is the organizer of Milonga Maleva, co-organizer of Flores D'Otono Festival that is coming up in...
It's coming in September, starting on September 13th.
Excellent. So before we get to that, let's see. Let's sit back and relax a little bit. Don't think about all the organizing that you need to do for the festival that's coming up. And let's see, why tango? Why did you start with tango?
It's been 13 years since I started. The first time I came to a tango lesson, and that was after about 6 months of a friend asking me to go with her. I took the first lesson and I realized that it is something that I want to do for as long as I can dance and I can breathe. And it was absolutely amazing. For me, it's not only the music, it's the whole universe, and that begins with the tango music. And in the past 13 years that I've been doing this, for me, it was an amazing chance to meet all the fantastic people from Buenos Aires and all over the world, people who not only dance tango, but people who also became my close friends and shared their experiences with me.
You can go anywhere in the world and immediately, like almost, you can't say like make friends, but you now, especially, it's easier. You go on Facebook, say, "Oh right, hi you guys, I am in Berlin, and I'm wondering is there a milonga happening?"
Yeah, it's true. It's like a universal language, and it doesn't really matter what language you speak as long as you can dance and you can make an eye contact.
Very important.
then somehow you get this amazing chance to meet different people from all cultures and all corners of the world, and instantly become, if not friends, then partners in crime.
Well. So what was it that made you decide that I want to be a little bit more than a social dancer, a little bit more of a student of tango, a little bit more involved with it?
It happened to me purely by chance. I never thought about organizing anything until I was working with a friend of mine, assisting, and then things just happened. He created milonga in a practica, and then he had to leave the country, and he said to me, "You know what? I'd like you to continue with this." And I said, first of all, I was shocked. I had no idea how to organize anything, and especially a milonga or a practica, and I just didn't really have a choice. It kind of fell into my lap, and it was a tremendous learning experience as well. So now, after 9 years of organizing, I can say that I learned so much. Just incredible.
So it wasn't something that you said, I want to start this. I want to, I don't know. Some people do it because they really like the music. For example, I know a few people who are really into the music and into the DJing part of it, and some people just do it for sharing their love for it.
Yeah.
And so many different reasons.
Exactly. Where in my case, it wasn't planned at all, and at that point, I didn't really have any experience of organizing anything like this. So
scary.
It was tremendously scary, especially the first time I had to organize my first practica. I thought, oh my God, But you know what? You go with the flow. You learn. I had tremendous support from the community, and it's just been amazing.
So it was like 4 years after you had started dancing tango.
Yes. It was approximately 4 years right after.
Almost.
And then that was in December of, I believe, 2008. And then in March of 2009, I went to Buenos Aires for the first time. Mm-hmm. And of course, you know, it's funny how you think after dancing for a while, you think that you know something. At least you can walk and you know this. And yeah, exactly. You think you got it. Well, it's a very humbling experience when you get to milonga in Buenos Aires and you realize that not only you don't know anything, but well, you can't even walk. And it was quite humbling. So I always encourage people, if they ask for my advice, that I always say, you know, it's important to get to the basics, no matter what level you are. You know, it's always important to once in a while to stop and just go and take a beginner's lesson, when you can refresh your memory in terms of how you can walk properly, how you can improve your embrace. Because after all, most of us social dancers, we're not looking for performance in a milonga. We're there just to be in each other's embrace, to feel the music and share the moments, to really have a pleasure. That's the bottom line. And so that's why I think it is important to establish connection with your partner. Mm-hmm. For me, it's I would say the most important part of it.
I think you said something. It was really, really interesting, because sometimes we never do it in the beginning. We never do it in the beginning. Stop and so usually we're like go, and you want to. It's maybe it's the momentum, maybe it's the excitement, maybe it's. It's like, I want to really learn this dance, you know. And then suddenly you go to Buenos Aires and you're like, okay,
yeah, that's the real thing.
We need to rethink a few things.
It's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. And I have to say that being in tango not only improved my whole outlook on life. I would say that if I didn't start tango, I probably would have a completely different life. And so for me, it's a tremendous opportunity to meet new people, to enjoy the music, and always learn something new. And the beauty of social tango is that no matter what age you are, you can always dance. Yeah. It's not, acrobatics or anything.
Yeah, it's true.
Or anything that requires, to be in really good shape. In a good shape, or to be a certain age. You can be in your 90s.
Yeah, it's true.
And dance it. And there's so many older dancers in Buenos Aires who continue to amaze all of us with their dance and their outlook on life and their knowledge, because tango is not just a dance, and until you actually start dancing it, you don't really know that it's a whole universe. Mm-hmm. It's so much more than just certain steps. It's tremendous culture behind it, the music itself, and everything. So for me, I can never imagine living without it.
Maybe I was thinking now as you were talking. I was taking this class with Graciela Gonzalez when she was last
Yeah.
in Toronto, and I was doing something with my body really. I was trying too hard, actually.
Yes.
I think that was it. I was trying too hard, and she goes to me, "Let me ask you something, okay? Have you seen Carmencita Calderon?" I'm like, "Yes, of course." Well, I haven't seen her, but I've seen her in the videos.
Right.
She's like 90 years old and she was dancing, and can you imagine her doing what you're doing?
Oh my goodness.
It was like at that moment I was like, oh, I hadn't thought of it that way, I guess. Well, it partly is because I'm not a 90-year-old woman, but now in retrospect, as I'm replaying it in my head, I think that sometimes we try so hard.
Right.
We put so much tension, so much muscle into this, and we lose everything, all these other things that you said. We lose the feeling, we lose the connection, we lose all these other things, the essence of the dance.
True.
Until someone says, can you imagine if you're 90 years old, if you would be dancing in this this way?
Well, I think it's not really that per se.
Yes.
You know, like
I think it was a shaking, like for me to stop what you're doing and really rethink that, because this is not what you're doing is not working, and it wasn't. It was working because I can do it, but then you could already feel in the body so much tension in there.
Yeah, but you know, for me, it's always dancing in the pareja, in the couple. You know, because tango is a couple dance naturally, so it doesn't really matter how great you are on your own, but when you're dancing with a partner, it's completely different, because as a part of the couple, and especially as a follower, you have to adapt to your partner, and you have to make it the best possible dance with that particular partner. And you know, if we start talking about the etiquette of tango, the códigos, and all that, basically, if you accept the dance, then most of the time, unless there's special circumstances, you have to continue and finish it. And the tanda consists of usually 3 or 4 songs, and you are with this partner that you accepted the dance with for 12 minutes. So, and you know, you have to make the best dance that you can with that particular partner. So, which means that it's not about showing off how well you can do the step, you know, how beautiful you look, you know, all those things that are important when you're learning technique and all that. But the bottom line is,
or when you're practicing,
or you're practicing on your own, you have to make sure that that's an enjoyable dance for both of you.
Yes. Is that somehow connected to creating, putting a milonga together, putting a festival together? I think it feels like you're doing that for all of us. I mean, of course, we, on the other hand, coming to the milonga, to Maleva, or to the festival, you have to come in with the same mindset. I mean, I can't come to the milonga and say, oh, okay, let's see what Masha has done wrong. Which is, you know, sometimes you get in a partnership to dance and you feel, either you do it on your end, it's like, oh, he's terrible, blah, 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 something. Or you feel that the other person is doing it. But that bringing value into the community or into a partnership, it feels that they are somehow connected, even though, okay, the festival, I mean, milonga is like a different scale.
Well, I think an organizer, any organizer, has a tremendous responsibility to the community, because as a dancer, as a single dancer, you come to a milonga, you enjoy yourself, you accept the dance, or you may just sit down and listen to the music and
That's me.
and whatever. But as an organizer, you have to make sure that people who come to your milonga are having a good time. Because if they're not going to come back. They're not going to come back. And myself personally, as an organizer, I try to make to create an atmosphere in the milonga that would be welcoming and friendly, and so that everybody can have a good time.
I like that because I'm going to tell you why I like it, because it's not of course everybody wants to be welcomed, obviously. So that's not the obvious reason why I like it, but it's not like you can't create, I don't think you can create, there's no point of creating a little copy of anything else. It's like how things are supposed to be, how milongas are supposed to be, how festivals are supposed to be. You know your community, you try to cater to them. So that's how I feel that it can be a really welcoming experience in that way, and a really welcoming atmosphere in that way, instead of, this is what we have to do first, and then we have to do this, and then we have to do that, all the proper rules of a proper milonga, of how milongas are supposed to be, or how milongas are in Buenos Aires, or what the guests are expecting, or something like that, because it's more probably about the people who are coming than for
and one thing I've noticed is milonga is actually a living organism on its own, and as much as you can try to prepare to run it a certain way, somehow
there's always a surprise.
There's always a surprise, and somehow it just things sometimes happen on their own, and in terms of, I'll give you an example for making announcements in the milonga. I always see whether, actually the first time I had to make an announcement, I was shaking. I didn't know what I'm going to say. Should I write it down and have it on a little piece of paper in front of me, or and then I thought, no, I'm not gonna write it down. I'm just gonna say it and see what happens. But
see what happens.
But what I was trying to say is, I always see whether it's an appropriate time for an announcement, or maybe not. Maybe you don't have to say anything that particular night, and just let it be and let people enjoy the moment, and you don't want to interrupt a nice flow. In terms of announcements, it's kind of tricky too. You don't want to have it for too long. You don't want to distract people with everything that might be happening in Toronto every day of the week, and you just want to go to the bottom of things, and 2-3 minutes, and that's basically it.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's the thing. In 2-3 minutes, you have to say, if you decide to do the announcement, you have to say all these things that there need to be said. Not exclude anyone if there are any special events, but not favor anyone, and it's it's true. It's like another little. I remember when we were doing this little festival back home in Greece, and I don't know how I got to do the announcement. I guess I was the only girl in the group. So it's like, you're doing the announcement. You're doing it. It's like, okay. So I remember I wrote things down, and then I reread them and wrote like threw the piece of paper away, and then wrote it down again. Oh dear. Okay, here we go. And I actually took the paper with me.
I see.
And that was okay. That second year that we ran that same festival, I didn't use a paper, but I was still shaking.
Well, you know what? You can't help it. It's really...
Still the shakes were still there.
Yeah. It takes a while to become completely comfortable with public speaking.
Yes. And I think that's also, I don't know if it's happened to you, but it's happened oftentimes. Now it's a little bit less, but it's still there. If I'm dancing with someone that I know is really, really good, there's always this little,
Makes you nervous a bit.
yeah,
Yeah,
little,
yeah, it's true. It's
like-
true. I feel the same way. You know,
it's nice to be reminded that it's like, oh, I need to keep my game up now. But it's still those shakes that I had in my second round of
Yeah.
public speaking. They're still there when I'm dancing.
It's true. It's true. I find that. I remember I was dancing with one of the teachers the first time, and I was intimidated by the level, and I thought I was trying to do my best, but I got so nervous and I couldn't help it. I was just shaking so much.
Oh dear.
And of course, it doesn't help. You know, when you're nervous, it transfers to your partner, and it becomes really difficult. But you know, with time, you manage somehow to master it, and you breathe. Yeah, breathing is super important because you know when you're a beginner, I think you forget to breathe, and then naturally
Things just go downhill from there.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah, of course. You learn how to relax and you know and have the best dance you can possibly have.
yeah, and it also depends on the partner. I find, you know, they might say something, you laugh, and you're like, okay, all
Yeah.
right. What do
Yeah.
I think?
Yeah, a true professional usually knows how to make you more comfortable.
And they've probably been
Yeah.
through that. Like,
Oh, well,
many
yeah,
times.
we have. We all have been through the same thing.
Many times. So, what would the ideal milonga be, or like your ideal?
Is there such a thing?
No, yes. The milonga, if everything went perfectly, what would that look like?
Oh, it's really impossible to say. It's, you know, for me, I think as long as people are having a good time and, you know, enjoying themselves, have a chance to kind of communicate with each other and, you know, liking the music. And at the end of the night, when you can hear La Comparsita playing and you see still, you know, quite a few people on the floor,
Yes.
so that's the sign of a successful milonga to me.
I think you're right.
Because
Like
if
everyone is
people,
dancing
yes,
till
if
the
everybody's
end.
still dancing till the very, very end, it tells you that people are enjoying themselves, that they don't want to leave, and no matter what,
Yeah.
they're gonna come back.
Yes, I think you're right. That is, and there, like I remember, there have been times where the lights are turned on. It was like, come on. And there's some even. It's not even tango. I think that's playing. Maybe it's. I can't remember. Maybe it was like.
Yeah, usually at the
salsa
end
or-
of the night, when it's all said and done, you know, you play a little bit of bachata or maybe salsa,
And there are people
or
still dancing.
something else. Yeah, it's true.
Get out.
It's true.
But it's. I think you're right. That's probably the. What tells you that?
Yeah, I think for me that's the most important part. You know, and people don't necessarily have to say, "Oh, it was such an amazing milonga, thank you, blah blah blah." As long as I can see them on the floor and they don't want to leave, that's the most gratifying, the most important thing for me.
Yes. Yeah, and I remember it was at the Maleva, and I can't remember who was DJing, to be honest. Sorry.
Possibly Jason.
Yeah, probably.
Most likely, because Jason is usually there.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember. But I remember I was sitting there and I was watching people dance, and it was so nice. You're just just listening to the music and seeing people going around doing their things. Like,
Yeah.
you just feel that
You feel the harmony.
Yes.
Yes, you
this
feel
is a good night.
harmony. Definitely.
You know, the calmness of the whole night just going through, and yes, this is nice. So, what advice would you now give to your beginner self?
I would say go with the flow. Don't overcomplicate things. Don't think that this is the final moment in your journey. It is not. It is not. the journey is endless. No matter how good you think you might be, there's so many ways to improve. But it's not only about improving yourself. It's when I was starting out, I was concentrating on different things, on technique, on how far I can stretch my leg, how I should embrace and all that. And sometimes the most important thing would escape from me, which is the connection with the partner.
Mm.
If I only could relax for a bit, take a deep breath, and just feel the embrace and enjoy myself more, I think my progress would be tremendously faster.
Oh. Mm.
Yeah.
So, maybe to concentrate on the different things and take it a little bit slower, maybe.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
And so now, how do you build your classes when you have a chance to take a class? How do you decide to which class is going to be, what type of class is going to be, to keep progressing? What is it that you're like, okay, I think I'm going to take this class on X, Y, Z, or
right. For me, lately, I usually take private classes, and I always go back to the basics. So when I go to take a lesson with a teacher, and they ask me, what do you want to concentrate on? Mm-hmm. I always say, you know what, let's concentrate on my embrace, on my walking, on musicality, and that's the most important. And I think you can never go wrong with concentrating on the basics.
And is there something that you do between your classes trying to maintain your level? Something that you focus on maybe during your dances, or it doesn't have to be the same continuously. Maybe it's now something that you focus on now, or you focused in the past and really helped, or
True. You know what? Life is just so incredibly busy that sometimes there's no time for anything. And but for me, especially after I take a private lesson, I'm trying to process it all in my brain and just visually, maybe sometimes before I go to sleep, I think about what I've learned. You know, how I should apply my embrace and the posture and all those other things, and that's important. I wish I could practice more. I wish I could do those bar exercises.
Those bar
or had a particular partner that I could constantly practice with, because that is super important. But unfortunately not. I work full time outside of tango, and then organizing it takes quite a bit of time as well.
Quite a bit of time. And so, tell us a little bit about Maleva, and then about the festival that is coming up very soon.
Milonga Maleva is organized by me and my business partner Jason. It happens every third and fifth Friday of the month. We have it at Dover Courthouse on the third floor or the main floor, depending on the availability. And it's a wonderful mid-sized milonga, and it's been around for 3 years, and we're going into the fourth, and very happy about it.
Oh dear, time flies.
Yeah, I know. I haven't realized that it's been 3 years already.
Wow.
Yep.
I remember you guys making the announcement, saying, we're trying this on the Fridays, and it's like, and now it's
Yep, it's been
amazing.
Over 3 years. Yeah, and Flores D'Otono is something new that was originally Jason's idea, and it is happening in 10 days from today exactly, on Wednesday, September 13th, and it's going to be happening every single night for the whole weekend. ending on Sunday the 17th. There will be 7 milongas, including 2 all-nighters, and 6 workshops, and
Oh dear.
2 performances, and the milongas with international DJs. Our guests are 2 amazing artists from Buenos Aires, Hernan Alvarez Prieto and Silvana Dortone. They're very well known in Buenos Aires. They don't usually travel that much outside of Argentina, so this is a unique opportunity for the North American audience to experience their workshops and their performances and learn from them. Not too many people know that Hernan was on the judge panel of Metropolitano of this year, and it is a tremendous honor. It's not that everybody can become a judge, and the beauty of Hernan is that he is a young milonguero, but he dances like an old seasoned milonguero, and that's the beauty of it. So we're super excited to have them with us in 10 days, and we encourage everybody to take their group lessons and private lessons and attend milongas and enjoy this experience.
I don't think they have traveled. I'm sure they haven't traveled to Toronto before.
Nope, this
That's
would be the
for
first
sure.
time.
I was checking, and we will put the links at the bottom of this video, so you guys can check things out. But as I was checking, I don't think they have been.
Nope, this was the first North American visit.
Or our end, on
So
our
we're
end of the
honored.
world.
We're honored to have them.
That's going to be great. It's going to be
Absolutely.
amazing. Looking forward to it. And just to sum everything up, say you were in, I don't know, in the Mundial, and you could put one huge, and they told you, no, Masha, we want you to write one phrase that everyone who's watching the Mundial all around the world will see for tango dancers. What would that phrase be? What would you want?
Without a shadow of a doubt, I would say, Viva Tango.
Excellent. I like it. So, thank you very, very much. How can people reach you if they have any questions, anything, from Maleva, for the Maleva, or for Flores D'Otono, or just to reach out to you?
It's very easy to reach us on Facebook at Toronto Milonga Maleva, or you can reach me personally. It's Masha, Masha, Coqueta, Flores.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much for having me.
And we'll see you very soon.